Okay, welcome. It's Wednesday evening here in Ireland, and well, the market's open for a couple hours over in the States. So I thought I would get right in, smack bang in the center of the week, the middle of the week, and give a midweek update. Okay, so let's start in euro dollar. The thesis is still the possible decline in a D wave to somewhere down around the 110 area. In three waves. Yes, the alternate count is still possible. This basically what I'm tracking is a large B wave here in black. You can see the alternate count would call for 5 waves up into wave C, up to around 128 or 130 or something like that, and then a decline in wave C. But for the moment, I'm still working on this large triangle that should, continue to grind sideways over the next 6 months or so. If that's the case, then we should pop out somewhere around the 115, 116 level and then head down into wave C. But for now, I'm tracking this possible wave D scenario. So let's get into the what's the 4-hour chart? Yeah, nothing new there. Okay, the hourly chart. Very choppy move down off the top, off the recent top. So that is being viewed as a 3-wave decline. So A, running flat wave, B, and then probably an ending diagonal wave C. So 3 waves down, and now we are working on a B wave. So this is either 3 waves up in wave B complete, and now we're moving lower into wave C, or we have a larger 3-wave pattern underway. We should know, well, we'll know by the end of the week anyway. Looks like this is a pretty solid triangle in here, so that's wave B. 3 waves up looks solid, but this could develop, like I said, into a 3, 3, 5 larger flat pattern in the same B wave. I do like the fact that we've rallied in 3 waves, we hit 50%, and then we spiked lower yesterday. So it remains to be seen, are we going to continue the decline, gain momentum to the downside with 5 waves down? And that would, if we do that, that's wave 1 assured. Okay, so what we watch for the rest of the week would be, I do want to see that high, this B wave high at 118 hold, and then wave 1 or wave 3 down to accelerate lower again. Okay. It's a similar setup in, I'm just going to move this on here a bit. In cable, as you know, triangle is what I'm tracking in cable also. And it's a kind of a case of so far so good. We've come down off the high in what looks like a flat correction or a complex correction, wave B, and we should be heading lower again into wave C. So we head down into the hourly chart. The short-term pattern, we broke lower yesterday, and I still really don't know what to make of it, to be honest, because it's maybe it's a wedge to the downside. So it's 5 individual moves anyway, so it's a 5-wave pattern, it seems. And it looks like we had 5 waves up, so this could be a wedge to the downside. I just don't like this possible ending diagonal here within wave 5 in pink. I was expecting a little bit more in wave 5, and that would complete this C wave here. So that's an A, B, C. We did match. We created a double top there, so minimum expected target was hit at the top, more or less by the pip, and I suppose on the plain face of it, you would expect wave 1 down to continue over the next couple of days. So if that's the case, then we should see a small lower high, wave 2, maybe we even have that by now, and then a nice break below 128 again will indicate that wave 1 is underway. So that's what I'll be watching for the next couple of days. Dollar yen is moving in a favorable fashion right now, and if nobody is taking notice, then they should probably start to take notice pretty quickly, because a move up, an impulsive move higher in the dollar will be most likely detrimental to a lot of risk assets. So a move up in the dollar will be, to my mind, a pretty solid vote in favor of, let's say, capitulation in the market, in the stock market. Most likely another wave down in precious metals before we get a turnaround there. And if I'm right on this one, then this could be a sustained move higher in the dollar. Okay, so if we're complete, again, here's the weekly count in the dollar yen. So it's a long-term triangle. This is a B wave. We've done nothing but grind sideways, basically. And the recent low over the last few days, well, about a week ago, should be well, it's always hard to call this. I'm working with a weekly pattern here and then down to an hourly pattern, so it's such a hard one to call. I think obviously all the way down to the 4-hour pattern, I think is pretty solid, because we have 3 waves down. That could be a wave E to complete wave B, and we have a possible 5-wave move higher off that low. Again, a nice double bottom in around the 104 level, and if we go to the hourly chart, you can see a possible 5-wave move into today's high. We were tracking this correction here. It was, at one moment it was looking like a triangle, then it turned out to be probably a triple combination of some sort. In wave 4, expecting a rally higher in wave 5. It was nice that we got this a solid break above the previous wave 1, so that was the minimum target, 105.80. But I do like the fact that we now have 5 waves, 5 waves up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and there is still a chance that wave 5 is underway. Maybe this is just a small corrective move off the high, but either way, we should expect probably by the end of this week a wave 2 to come in, and that'd be wave 1 and 2. That'd be a bullish impulse wave. Come on down there, line. Down around the previous 4th wave, so you have 105.40 kind of to look for on that one. 3 waves down in wave 2. Maybe that gets done by the end of the week, and then we will have a bullish impulse wave, a series of 2 bullish impulse waves in the dollar. In general, this is holding with the thesis that we should be heading higher in the dollar due to distress. Well, I suppose mechanically you would say that it's just a rush for dollars to cover debts and to cover losses on speculation, I suppose. And there is nothing but rampant speculation in a dollar-based system, a dollar-based financial system. When we have rampant speculation, it's basically a short on the dollar. In not so many words, but rampant speculation in a dollar-based system is shorting dollars to buy assets. When the assets fall, as inevitably they will, there's a rush to dollars, which is a short squeeze on the dollar, which could push the dollar rapidly higher pretty quickly. I think we had the 4-hour chart there. We had a version of that, let's say, into early April there. So we had this massive rally in the dollar. We had an impulsive decline to finish off that C wave, but we had that massive rally on the back of the declining stock market. So we've nothing. The decline since then has been, it's been pretty overlapping. If you're going to call it anything, it's a corrective decline. And if you're going to call it part of triangle, then it's a completing move within the triangle. So apart from that prognostication, I should get on to the short-term pattern. If we get a completion of a three-wave correction in wave 2 down to about that 105.50 level, then we are looking higher again next week in a possible third of a third. If that's the case, then it could be a nice rally next week in dollar yen. Okay, we have the stock market again. This is a 4-hour chart. I'm looking at this. This was a count that I previously had. So this is 3 waves up in A, 3 waves down in B. And off that move, we've just had this kind of slowing momentum. Yeah, a rally indeed, but a rally at a cost of declining momentum long term, which is never good in terms of it's more indicative of a top rather than anything else. If we were to take this high, let's say back in early May, as wave A, that's a 3-wave decline in wave B. Off that low, then we could count 1, 2, extended third wave, corrective fourth wave, and then a fifth wave. So another kind of ending diagonal maybe, because we had the one thing that doesn't sit well with that count is the fact that we had an overlap of that possible wave 1 high with this wave 4 low. We're really, I know that we're on a particularly precarious balancing act right now in the market. Even if I was to push to a further higher C wave, I don't. I'll have to chew on that one. Leave that one with me. That's a thought that I need to chew a little bit more. Okay, so what have we got off this high so far? At the moment, I think the best way that I can view it in an impulsive way or an impulsive manner is as a leading diagonal or a wedge to the downside. So you can call that wave 1, ABC wave 2, wave 3, ABC wave 4, and wave 5. So I'm calling that wave 1 down. Now what we've got from that point is, again, it's quite a mess, let's say. And yesterday's action has not particularly helped it, to be honest. Nice rebound today. Is this a second wave? That's, I suppose, the very pressing question at the moment is this rebound into well, at the moment, a lower high? Is it a second wave? If it is, then we should head lower in a third wave, probably before the end of the day. Apart from that, we could still have 3 waves up in A, 3 waves down in B, and then maybe an ending diagonal. So that could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If that were the case, let's just kind of put a picture on this one. If that were the case, you can see this kind of wedge pattern here closing in on itself. If that were the case, then you would break to a new high somewhere around 28,450 or so, and then head lower. For the moment, I'm going to stick with this particular pattern that we've got here. We must hold this lower high and we must head lower for the rest of the day, though. That is the issue at the moment. Third wave down in wave 1. I mean, we've got to get lower pretty quickly. Alternately, I would have to move in. Yeah. Right now, I'm not going to consider alternate counts. I'm going to stick with this and see how far we can play that. The rally today seems to have come to some sort of a halt in the early afternoon on the States. So this might develop quickly. If we get a spike lower, then that will probably indicate that wave 3 is underway. But let's see how that plays out by the end of the day. I would put a big question mark on this wave 2 at the moment. So let's see how that plays out. Now gold, nice impulsive spike lower yesterday, and maybe we're building a 3-wave lower high right now. So I'm expecting a 3rd wave decline, and it should be a pretty solid 3rd wave decline. Now we should be heading down towards, if this wave 1, 2, we should be heading down to below 1800 anyway. I'm going to update those 4-hour charts tonight, I think. So small 1-2 pattern to begin wave 3. Let's see if we can hold that downward sloping trend line. It is interesting that wave 2 did pretty much hold that trend line, and now we're heading, and we had a nice impulsive spike off that. So is wave 2 complete, or are we still developing a 2nd wave high? Probably still developing in my mind, looking right now at it. So we'll probably, let's see, where would we complete that? Somewhere around 1900 again, and then head lower into a 1/3 of a 3rd wave, which would go a long way. Now, here is crude oil. An interesting pattern developing in crude oil right now. I'm looking for the beginning of a 5th wave down, but those, well, I did this initial move off the high is 5 waves lower. So this large 3-wave move here seems to be a corrective lower high in wave 2. So we've got possible 3 waves move up in A, 3 waves down in B, and then developing 5-wave pattern. We had an extension in wave 3 of wave C. So you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That completes wave 3 of C. So far, it looks like a corrective move down. We haven't reached that kind of minimum target area, that 4170. If wave A makes, if wave C makes a new high above wave A, you would expect to break 4170 and then head lower. So let's see if that. I suppose by the end of this week we should close out this pattern, for good or for bad. And how do we know if it's turned? Well, on the lower end, it's definitely 3640, but that's a long way down. But you would expect to see a reasonable lower high build off a wave 2 corrective high. So you would expect a 1-2 pattern to the downside. Will that happen before the end of the week? May not have time right now to do that. Maybe. It depends on how quick the action will play out. But for the moment, I'm allowing for a final 5th wave to complete wave C, to complete wave 2, and then we'll concentrate to the downside. The S&P, look at that larger wave 2 right now. We did match, so we've got a double top there. And like I said, this 4-hour chart needs to be updated on the charts on the website as well. Okay, so here's the hourly chart. The undeniably impulsive move lower yesterday evening has been followed by, well, an equally, so far, a lower high. I'm allowing for a B wave. So at the moment, I'm allowing for a larger wave 2 in blue here. This could be 5 waves up in A, and that would suggest that this is a zigzag pattern. So 5, 3 down, and 5 up again. If that's the case, then we're just doing nothing but kind of pogo sticking around for the next couple of weeks as we decline in a B wave and then rally again in a C wave. Is there a bearish side to this pattern at the moment? Yes, there is. This could be a 1-2 to the downside. We'll have to hold out on that one though, because if it is a 1-2, then you would expect another leg down in a 3rd wave, and I do expect a further leg down in a C wave anyway. So I'm going to stick with this larger wave 2 pattern. So 3 waves down in wave B, followed by a rally in wave C. Okay, so let's move on to silver. Silver had a nice impulsive move lower today or yesterday, out of a possible corrective fourth wave high. So what I'm tracking here is 3 waves down in A, 3 waves up in B, and then 1, 2, 3. Wave 4 maybe still underway, but I like yesterday's move as a beginning of a possible wave 5. And I am still targeting down around that $20 mark to complete wave 2. So here's that sharp move lower yesterday, wave 1 of 5 of C. So we have wave 1, maybe a lower high wave 2 right now. And then we'd expect a further acceleration to the downside in wave 3. Wave 1 low on my chart reached just below the $23 mark. So if we break 23 again, then that will indicate that wave 3 of 5 is underway. On the upside, we've got to hold that wave 4 high. That's got to at 24.50. That's got to hold the market for now. And we still need 5 waves down, I think. I have been holding out for this. Yesterday was a good start, but let's continue that lower over the next couple of days. The alternate way of viewing this would be probably something like this: 3 waves up in A, probably an expanded flat wave B, and then you're working on wave C. So I may as well leave that in there actually. A, B, on C. And I think with yesterday's move, we can get rid of that alternate account. So it looks like, for the moment, I'm looking at the top of wave 4 in and moving lower in wave 5. The caveat on that would be this alternate count, 3, 3, 5, alternate wave 4. So that'll be a flat wave 4. Okay, so for the rest of the week, I want to see further declines in 5 waves in wave 5. Bitcoin's an interesting one over the last few days. This triangle scenario is still in play. The main question is, are we still within wave E of the triangle? If I might explain that. If this is wave E, a larger wave E, this would be 3 waves down in A of E. This would be a corrective lower high wave B of E, and then 5 waves lower developing in wave C of E. And you would expect a break of, what's that low coming in at? About 10,360. So I think the triangle is probably our best bet for the moment. The only question is, are we completed on wave E yet? We have built a higher low so far, so the short-term count is still valid. This could be a 1-2 pattern to the upside. Critically, we've got to break that B wave high there. That's 11,160. But also, the D wave high offers pretty significant resistance, and that's 10,930. So if we break impulsively above 10,930, it looks like we are heading higher again into a 5th wave up. And that 5th wave up is part of, let's go to the daily chart. A large 3-wave pattern, expecting that 5th wave up to break 13,800 again. And if that's the case, that would complete wave B in black there. That would be A, B, C up in wave B. And then we would expect a further decline in wave C. And that could go a long way down. Okay, the FTSE. It looks like this triangle that I've been tracking in wave 4 is completing. I'll show you the short-term pattern here, but it looks like we've got 3 waves up complete as wave E of 4. I mean, the pattern has just continued to contract and contract and contract, and we've basically we've gone nowhere over the last 6 months. So that does speak to a triangle, if nothing else. Let's get into the hourly chart here. You can see 3 waves up, and we're kind of faltering right now. So I want to see this wave C of E top out, and that should give us a hint that wave 4 is complete in that larger degree triangle, and we should expect wave 5 down then. That'll be a longer term move in wave 5. You can see on the daily chart here, tracking wave 1, 2, 3, triangle wave 4, wave 5 again. And that wave 5 will be wave 5 of 3, so further declines should be ahead. Let's see the hourly chart. Okay, we've got wave B, C, D, and E possibly complete, so let's see if we can head lower again. I want to say a break of 57.50 again will indicate that wave 1 of 5 of 3 is underway. So let's see if that can happen over the next week or so. Okay, the German market again. So far we've had a recover off the recent low, but so far it's in 3 waves. If we get on the hourly chart, you can see 3 waves up, maybe not complete just yet. That might actually be a small, might be a small triangle there, maybe an A, B, C, D. Well, no. Maybe a flat with a further extension in wave C. We have met the minimum target for wave C. That would be a break of wave A. So wave A, B, and C up to complete wave 2. And again, we would expect wave 1 and 2 again after that. We do need some confirming price action on this one, so that is pretty key, pretty critical over the next few days. By the end of the week, I would like to see this wave 2 complete and an impulsive move lower again in to begin wave 3. Okay, the Nasdaq. I think the most convincing market that there is a top in place is the Nasdaq. You can see here on the hourly chart we have 5 waves down, possible A, B, C pattern in place. Still need confirmation on that one. Maybe wave 2 is tracing out a larger second wave pattern, but that would be cutting it fine because we have this high here at wave 2 at 11,611, so, or 11,610, whatever it came in at. If that's a wave 1 down, you would expect wave 2 to complete pretty soon. Most likely, well, I'm going to stick with this short-term pattern at the moment, but you could say that that's 3 waves down also, although we did not make a new low. Or did we? We just created a double bottom. So maybe wave 1 and a larger degree wave 2, or a larger pattern in wave 2 before we head lower in wave 3 of 1. The other way of looking at that, well, I'd like to see further action actually, to be honest, before go pinning an alternate account on that. We have a 3-wave rally, what seems to be a pretty complete 3-wave rally into the previous 4th wave high. Came to a halt pretty much, at or just with a nose above the 50% retracement level. And so far we've got a series of impulsive looking moves to the downside. So we will have to wait and see on that. It's looking interesting to the downside, I have to say. So let's see if wave 2 can close out by the end of the week. Okay, I think that's me. That's us covered. Um, I'll be back later on anyway with the nightly update, but uh, suffice to say, it's been an interesting week so far. I think the metals have turned. Need confirmation on that, but we're also looking interesting to the downside in stocks, and the dollar is posting what could be, that leading indicator of dollar yen is posting what could be a bullish impulse pattern to the upside. So it could be brighter days ahead for the dollar pretty soon. Okay, on with the week, on with the day, and we'll see you tonight. Bye bye. God bless.